Yeah, it's freestyle indie, only here on the Ordinary Joe Show. Welcome, folks. My camera just moved while I'm getting ready here. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Freestyle Indie, only here on the Ordinary Joe. I'm your host, Joey Salvador. We have a special guest today, one of the pride of the pride of the Filipino Canadians here, based in Vancouver. One of our Hollywood actress, Filipino, bona fide Filipino Canadian, but also a much bona fide Hollywood actress who already have many uh, participation in prime movies and also um, prime TV series, mini series, and it seems like the Filipinos are really entering mainstream Canadian market and U.S. market, and the industry is very respectful of Filipino talent, and I'm so very proud of this young lady who we are going to introduce today. Okay, folks, let's do a little bit of a let's see what she's made of. Okay, hang in there.
It's like you want to get shut down.
Hey, Bayview. School is back in session. And you know what that means? So am I. This week, I'll be taking down 4 of Bayview's biggest offenders. Let's just say, I've got enough dirt to bury them.
Your obsession with other people's lives is pathetic.
Nobody at the school would get called out for anything if it weren't for me.
Simon?
Jesus, he's allergic.
I don't think he's breathing.
You want to help?
Detective Wheeler has a couple questions.
Wasn't it an accident?
They think one of us did it.
Without Simon, you get to be valedictorian.
You're accusing me now.
I know them.
I don't know you. We need to work together now.
And why should we trust you?
So you guys have no secrets.
I've got too much on the line.
Tell them the truth. It's not gonna change anything.
Everybody here hated him.
But who also hated us?
What is a secret worth literally killing for?
Ladies and gentlemen, the bona fide Hollywood actress, Mademoiselle Zenia Marshall. Hello, Zenia. Hello, hello. Let me unmute
Hello.
you.
How
Hello,
are you?
Zenia. How are you? Sorry for looking back here.
I'm
I
good.
got.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm happy that you're here. And though it was sort of like last minute, and we have very little time to prepare for this, you showed up. I showed up. It's gonna be great, and Filipino Canadians all across this country will be so happy to get to know more about you.
Woo! We're here. Let's go.
You know, Zenaya, when I was younger, I will be most likely watching all of your movies, all of your TV shows.
Aw.
Uh, I think when I reached the age of 27, I kind of detached from pop culture, so I don't know anything that's going on. Usually, when I was doing the entertainment space for the Filipino Canadian um, space in 2017, 18, 19, I get introduced to a lot of celebrities in our community that I didn't know prior to the day that I interviewed
Oh,
them.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
many celebrities from the Philippines coming here as well. And I'm a digital marketer. I promoted them for their concerts, for their events. I think many of the producers kind of like asking me to do the interview for promotion because they know I'm oblivious. I don't know many of the celebrities, and so I don't get starstruck, and I get, I guess, a little bit more relaxed than other
Very
interviewers, I
objective.
guess.
Yes, yes. That's
But
perfect.
you're a little different. You were born you're a bona fide Canadian. You are 100% Canadian. I think you were born here and grew up in Canada. Is it always Vancouver?
Yep, it has always been Vancouver, the Burnaby area into Vancouver.
So it's a pleasure to meet you because I'm excited that people, young kids like you and Peyton Garcia, and we have Martina Ortiz, who is the daughter also of my office co-worker prior. I didn't realize she's a big TV actress now too. She has a TV series, and she's the one who sang the brand new version of "O Canada" in 2015
Oh,
with
no
Justin
way.
Trudeau. Yeah, Filipino young Martina Luis Ortiz
Oh,
is
wow.
also a TV star, and man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited. The Filipino Canadians are really taking a lot of space in mainstream media and mainstream industries, and I'm so happy about that. But today,
Sure.
we are promoting your movie, and I talked to your mom. I asked her, and I asked you by email last night. Can you come again on maybe 2 episodes into your brand new show,
Yeah,
and so that people already seen some of the scenes and they get to recognize your character, Kelly.
Keely, yeah.
Keely, your character Keely. I'd like to invite you again for a long form podcast. Today is just a promotional podcast. It's going to be short, but we want to get to know more about you, Zenaya, and let's talk about the movie. So,
Yeah,
uh, part one, two-part question. Number one, tell us everything that you can tell us about yourself. Elevator speech in like a couple of minutes. I know that you've been in television. You're a musician as well. There's a music video that I'll be bringing up soon. We just saw the trailer for a brand new movie called One of Us is Lying. I'm very
Woo.
excited about that. It looks like what do you call that old-fashioned high school teeny bopper
Ah,
TV series in Canada where what's his name? That guy, the rapper guy, was part of it.
oh, Degrassi?
Degrassi. Is this a kind of Degrassi type?
Not
No,
really, not
not
really.
really.
It's it's very, it's high school indeed, but it's more of like it's rumored to be more of a mix of Breakfast Club meets Pretty Little Liars with a splash of Gossip Girl.
I wish I know any of that you mentioned because I'm so detached from pop culture. Most people will probably not choose me to interview a pop kid like you because I don't know any of that. But I am still, I still remember my youth days, and I really love pop culture. I used to dance to Michael Jackson songs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Super old, eh? Michael Jackson.
Hey, Michael Jackson is still popping. He's still
Michael
popping.
Jackson still
He's
still seems to
timeless.
be,
He's
yeah,
timeless.
seems to be relevant still. But okay, so
Still relevant.
tell us a little bit about you. What movies have you been involved in? You are a musician. You have music videos, and when did you get started in the art scene, in the movie scene? And
For sure.
yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. So everything that you just said, I do some acting, singing, and I started really young with dance. I started dance at the age of 4 and I went on until my teen years. And that actually is the thing that introduced me into acting because a TV series called Some Assembly Required on YTV. It was a kid show with this like toy store in it and everything. They needed some dancers in it and they had called my studio. So we ended up going over on the day to film and being on the set. I was like, wow, this is so cool. I want to be here more. I want to be here like every day. Like, what can I do so that I can be in like a set like this, like the beautiful, like toy store. And like, it's just like, it was so
hold on a
sweet.
second. You say YTV. I think there's a Filipino lead. That's the teenage TV
Yeah.
channel, right? YTV.
Yes. I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who's my daughter was born 2011, and we didn't watch YTV anymore, I guess. But when I first came to Canada, a lot of my cousins are watching YTV, But that's in
Yeah.
Toronto. The studio's
Yeah.
in Toronto. Do they have a
Oh,
studio as
uh,
well in Vancouver?
they had one for at least like the TV show itself that it was filming over here for Some Assembly Required. So that's how we got over there.
Oh,
And yeah, yeah, that was an introduction into acting. With music, it's always been around me because my mom is a singer, my dad's a drummer, my sister's a guitarist. Like the family is all musicians, and I've been surrounded and swaddled in music ever since I was growing up. So that was always there. And I remember like seeing my mom when I was super small, and I was like looking up at her like through the wings of her shows and like seeing what she did and like singing to the audience and rocking out in this Tina Turner wig and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is so cool. I want to do this one day. So
you're
yeah,
like a female Bruno Mars. Your
I
story,
mean,
like
Bruno.
surrounded by musician and performing family. But sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries. So that was like the beginning of everything, and I guess in my teen years, I started honing into it. I started taking acting classes, like more singing lessons and everything. I was writing from a young age, dreaming about like putting out my music and my singles. And within the last few years, I released two singles. The
Wow.
first one was called "Ain't Like You." Second one was called, the most recent one is called "Heaven and Hell." I've been recently working on a lot more music to be coming up soon. Um, and also for like TV show and projects. My first booking really was with Debbie Gibson on the Hallmark movie Summer of Dreams.
Debbie
And
Gibson.
Debbie Gibson.
Wow. Is she a
Yeah,
singer?
yeah,
Isn't she
yeah.
a singer? Debbie Gibson, a singer too, right?
She was like a big singer, and she was huge, like especially like in the 80s, she was like the pop princess of the time. Like she has like some songs like Lost in Your Eyes and Electric Youth, like some like awesome songs like that. And we were able to sing some of her songs in the show, so that was really fun. And yeah, yeah.
Wait a second. You sound like you've been through so many experiences already, but you look very young. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I am 22.
Oh, you're 22, but you look like you're a teeny, 18, 17, still
I
looking very young.
I get that a lot, and because of that, I am still playing high school in my acting, just like the show that we are talking about with One of Us is Lying that's coming up. That's still high school. All of my roles have been high school except one role, and I remember that one role. I was playing a country singer in a TV movie, and I was just like, "Oh my god, it was my one time. I'm not a teenager." Ah. And I was like so excited the first time that that happened. And I look back and I watched it after, and like I was watching it with my family when it was finally airing, and I was so excited. And then I look back at the screen, and it's like I kind of felt like a little kid dressed up in grown up clothes on the screen, and I was like, no, like I had this big like
There's a
poncho
character for
and
an
a
adult.
hat. Looked like I got to like my mom's closet at like 15, 16, and tried to sport that to school. I'm like, oh no, oh
That's
no.
funny. So the character is an adult country singer, supposedly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So how old are you when you the very first time you appeared on television? I know you have a television show that you air with your mom on a regular in Vancouver, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's called Simply the Best. Is it
The
an
best
ethnic
news are
channel show, a Filipino show, or
Yeah,
is it
it's on Shell Multicultural over here. She's been doing it for so many years. Like I think I was in elementary school when she started. For sure. I'd have to ask her how many seasons. It's definitely been over 8 to
but
9, 10, like around there. And yeah, like I remember she used to get me on the show. Now nobody go looking for this footage as you're watching this right now. But when I was really young, she used to get me on the show and like make me do like these like makeup tutorials, because like that was the start and the blooming age of the YouTube makeup gurus at the time. And I was in grade 7, I think, grade 8, and I was like dipping my toes into that. and I made a few like starter tutorials, and then we put it on the show, and then it was on YouTube, and then now it's hopefully deleted for no one to ever see ever again by this point.
It's the same theme among many stars that I know. They find their old videos, and I've interviewed a lot of musicians, and I interview a couple of actors, and we also have a very accomplished Hollywood director who lives in but he's back in Toronto now, that I interviewed for the podcast before. I should Have you heard of Romeo Candida?
No, but I need to now.
Check him out. He directed for Netflix, he directed for CBC, and he directed that Filipino show on CTV called Second Gen. Check it out. I think that
Oh,
also aired on CBC.
okay.
That's a little old, but man, I'm very proud of many Filipino talents in Canada, and you're one of them. That's really making
Oh,
us very, very proud. But
thank
now,
you. Thank you for your
not counting your mom's TV where you appeared with, dress up and lipstick and whatnot, your own show, the by yourself without your mom being in the set. When did you ever when was the very first one you ever showed up on television?
My first one, besides that first dance cameo as an extra, was Summer of Dreams with Debbie Gibson. That
Oh,
was
that was the
my
very first
first
one.
one. I'm
How
pretty
old
sure
were you?
I was 15 turning 16. Yeah, and I think that we shot it when I was 16, I believe, or at least it came out when I was 16. Yeah, so in that 15, 16 age range. Yeah.
Because this one is very interesting to me. I haven't seen this before, but you are one of the main cast. Tell me a little bit about this, and let's talk about your other TV shows that you've done before.
Oh yeah, for sure. Date My Dad was something that I did maybe about 2 years after Summer of Dreams. I was in my grad year in high school, 17 years old, finishing up school on set. This was my first like series regular kind of like part of a show, and it was my first time being on set for so many months in a row and being there every single day. And this, what you're seeing right now, the
There you
sets
go.
for all of our home and my school and
And then
everything for that year, yeah.
your character is you're the eldest daughter of this gentleman right here.
Yes.
And how many series did this last? This
This unfortunately only had its first season. We were also disappointed. We all thought that it was going to be going for a lot longer. We all love the show so much, and it was so heartwarming. It was so family buttery. It was such a nice show for all of us to work on, honestly. And it was so fun to go to set every day because the material was so light. It wasn't this like everyone's dying every day whenever you go on set in a scene. It was a really nice, like heartwarming show. So yeah, we definitely wanted it to go on for longer, but it only
it lasted
had
for a
that
season.
one season. Yeah, for us, yeah.
Well, it seems to be the pattern in Hollywood. Is things that people really like don't go long. I think it's what the producers and the network likes, but we're the one who's watching it. But
Yeah.
let me rewind that again. Some of my favorite shows, they don't last long, and my daughter too loves to watch a lot of family oriented. I forgot this Netflix series that she was watching when we were at the hotel. Oh, she finished the whole season in one in 1 week, but
Yeah.
very disappointed when. So tell me about your character on this. It seems like this is your very first mini series that you are a lead character, right?
Yes, exactly. Her name is Mirabelle. She was, I believe, 16 in this time frame of the show, and she was that fashionista character where she loved the beauty scene. As funny as it was when I mentioned the old baby me, like
Mhm.
makeup guru kind of things. She was very much into all of that. And I had to do some scenes in the show that was just like that, that were like brought that all back to memory again, like about products and showing the camera things and pretending to post like, Insta famous, like, beauty guru things. And yeah, she's the eldest sister out of three sisters. And unfortunately, in the show, the premise is around that their mom had just passed away a
Yeah.
couple
Mhm.
years beforehand. And it's a beautiful story about this family like coping with their mom being away, being gone while they're growing up,
Mhm.
and also wanting happiness for their dad. Hence the title "Date My Dad," where they're finally trying to set him up with
With
these women that hopefully will be their next mom.
it's a very American it's an American story. Was this
Yeah.
shot in Vancouver?
It was shot in Vancouver. Yeah, yeah.
And and
Not too
and
far
this
away from home. Yeah.
and this actor, he's a pretty famous mainstream actor, Barry Watson, right? What's his name?
Yes. Yes, it was so funny because I remember when I was super young, I used to watch this show with my family called Samantha Who.
Uh-huh.
And, I had no idea, like, when I first got the audition that that was him that was casted in the show, and, I had to do, like, a chemistry read with him in person, and he was just so, so nice, when we were doing that and throughout the show, and I just, like, remember the first time I met him, I'm like, "You look so familiar," like, "Oh my gosh," and then eventually, because I was so young when I watched Samantha Who, when the classic actor thing, you IMDb stalk everyone at some point of working with everyone, and then when I saw Samantha Who, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I
Yeah,
was like, oh
his face is a real big screen and a TV screen kind of face that you see everywhere. I just you don't there's a lot of Hollywood actors I probably know by face, but I don't know by name. And when I
Mhm.
saw his face, I knew he's been around for a while. If you don't mind, I want to play that trailer with sound so that our viewers will understand more about your
Yeah,
experience. And then
yeah.
when we come back from this, I'd like to talk about all of your other TV and music experience, and then let's talk about the movie that's coming up in October. So, folks, don't go away. Let's watch this trailer. This is date my dad. How to date my dad, or just
Date my dad.
just date my dad. Okay, let's put the sound here. If I can work it on the this tablet is a little tricky sometimes. Let's rewind this
On my
again.
own.
Okay, let's do it again.
40. Macho, cool Rick. He's 40. Isabella.
I'm gonna raise our girls on my own.
Focus.
Happy birthday, Daddy! Make a wish, Daddy.
We have to talk to you. It's been 3 years since Mom died. There are other girls.
Plenty of fish.
Buenos dias, chicas. I am trying to make dinner here.
What if I built you a guest house?
Then I'd be a guest. No.
He's never gonna do this on his own. We're gonna take matters into our own hands.
Hey.
The girls want me to start dating.
Wow. Wow, wow!
Daddy needs our help. Go team! He needs to spend time with her one-on-one to see if they're compatible.
Why don't you take Katie out for dinner?
Alone?
Isabella was kind, generous, and giving. She would want you to move on.
I miss her so much.
They're yours.
Fiesta time!
To Isabella.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Let's do this thing.
What's going on?
Lemonade stand.
There's a lot of people here, and they're all women. A dating service. I don't know what you're talking about, officer.
Just look behind you, pal.
The all-new scripted series, Date My Dad. Premieres Friday, June 2nd at 9, only on Up.
Wow, that's awesome. You line up a lot of women in front of the house so that the women can line up and speed date with the dad. That is
They
so
oh, they
awesome.
had to make their way through us first, so you saw, like, all of us with clipboards and this and that, and we're printing out pictures, putting at the top of the paper, checkbox, checkbox, checkbox.
Scrutineers, I can see exactly my I have a daughter, I have a 10-year-old, and I see how a daughter can be like, hey, this is my dad, and you can be very protective of your dad. That's awesome. I love that. And I would say you're a very good actor. When you have that scene, you were crying. I almost like a little bit teary eye there. I got moved a little bit there. You got. Did you train as an actress?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I started taking classes when I was about 14 and 15, and then I kept on rolling like throughout the years, like whenever I can. And yeah, yeah, like that scene was definitely something that I remember reading in the audition before, and I was just like, I felt so sad when I was like seeing it, and immediately, I don't know why, but I really connected to that, and that really spoke to me in a way. So that scene, and there was another scene as well talking about like a future wedding, like in wedding dresses,
Wow.
what to do without mom there, kind of thing. And I
Wow.
was like, oh, it's so like, ah.
An all American story, and there's the tearjerker that really moves us with this. I salute a lot of these screenwriters. They know how to make people move their emotion. One other side of your talent, you're also a singer, and I'll just play on the background today. It's we're not talking about your music. I would like to invite you on a separate interview
Okay,
regarding that,
yeah.
but I would like to share on a very low volume. I want to share one of your music videos. Oh, look at that. So you're a big star, Zenaya. Let me just
Thank you.
play that again with a low volume. But while we play that, we're not gonna talk about your music today, but let's talk more about acting. Tell me more, because I look at your IMDb and I see that it's a little loud, right? Let me turn it down a bit more. Sorry, I'm a one-man production here. We don't have a big Hollywood set, but we'll make do. But look at that. That's a beautiful. Who shot this? Uh, let's
I
talk a little bit about this, just a
Yeah,
little.
for sure. We shot this last fall, right between the end of summer and fall. And actually, for Date My Dad, I was working with one of my friends. Her name's Tawny Curtis, and she was the script supervisor on Date My Dad, and that's how we met. But she's been wanting to go into directing, and we were talking about like some things in my music video coming up that we wanted to do, and like she directed the video. And one of her friends from Riverdale that she met on Riverdale, his name's Thomas Walker. He's one of like the camera operators there, and he DP'd our whole entire world with this video. And with their powers combined, they made it look so beautiful.
Super
I can't be
stunning.
more grateful to them. They're so passionate, so talented. Oh my gosh.
Super stunning. It's like a big. It looks like a big stage kind of music video. It's highly produced. It looks like a big budget. I'm sure they know how to budget very well and make it properly done. But let's play that on the background while we talk. Let's focus on your acting career. I saw on your IMDb a lineup of TV shows, and so did you have a movie yet? A Hollywood movie?
I guess not like a Hollywood
Not
film,
a
I
big
guess,
screen.
like a
Yeah.
feature
Mhm.
yet. No. But I have a lot of sweet TV movies. There's lots of Hallmark that shoots over here in Vancouver. And so I've definitely done a lot of those. And some TV series such as like Supergirl,
Okay, so yeah,
Supernatural.
let's talk about that. What was your character? Is it just a few episodes on Supergirl? Because I saw Supergirl on
Yeah.
IMDb.
Yeah, Supergirl was just one episode. I just like came in. I was one of the students in a flashback with young Supergirl and her sister, their young versions in high school before.
Hmm.
So it was a little flashback episode, and I guess I might have been a bit of a bully.
Oh.
So, so I was there just for like a little bit.
Did you audition how to be how to look how bully I can be? How was the audition like?
The funny thing is I actually didn't audition for that one per se. I went in to audition for, because at the time they were casting for their younger versions, and I originally auditioned for the younger version of Supergirl's sister.
Oh.
But I have very different features, I'd say, and I'm I guess to a lot of like other people who are, more on the white spectrum. Like I'm not
Mhm.
as white, so I definitely didn't fit like the visual for that. But from that audition, they had actually casted me into that role, just from seeing that. So that's kind of why in the industry you just kind of go in almost no matter what. Um, because you never know what that might bring about and what kind of opportunity might be able to get you out there, even if it's not for that exact thing, if that makes sense.
Got
Yeah.
yeah, got it. I have a friend who she's black and she's based in Vancouver now too. We were friends before she became an actor,
Mhm.
and yeah, she was telling me about she was privately telling me stories about rejections in auditions and whatnot. But Hollywood is looking for a lot of minorities now to integrate into the stories. But do you find that the stories? Uh, I heard that this movie. Rich Asians, filthy
Oh,
rich
Crazy Rich
Asian.
Asians?
Say that again.
Crazy Rich Asians? That one?
Crazy,
There was a
yeah,
couple.
crazy rich
Yeah, me
Asians. I heard that kind of paved the way for many Asians to take more lead role. But I thought Asians have been always been accepted to in Hollywood. But you, of course, you will have to play a character of an Asian. But you are half, right? Is your dad Caucasian?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy.
You're half. Half of your face is Caucasian and half
Literally
is
half.
Filipino. But you look very white, and you can also look very Filipino. And a lot of Caucasians can look Asian too. I have a friend who is pure Caucasian, but she has Asian features. But do you find that the roles that they give you is appropriate to race, or it's appropriate more of your personality and what you can act?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm all down. I love like these conversations. I'm really passionate about and love talking about. So I'll definitely be giving you my honest answers here.
Sure.
But for me personally, like, I think that the roles that I see that come in, I have I'm lucky enough that when people look at me, they think that I'm very racially ambiguous. They don't
Hmm.
know what I am, so they end up putting me in a lot of boxes,
Okay.
and whatever they see for that role. And I usually get a lot of opportunities to come in and be seen that way, which I'm very grateful for. But one of the things that is my though that's my upside, my
Hmm.
downside is that I don't exactly, because I look so ambiguous to other
Hmm.
people, like I don't exactly fit any of those boxes well enough to be casted for, and for them to
Mm,
feel like they've checked off the box
I
if
see.
they're casting in that way, if that
I
makes
see
sense.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's not quite enough to, like, fill that all the way if they are specifically looking for someone who is, needs to fill something in the show because they know that they need more diversity and they don't wanna cast someone who's more whitewash looking, hello? Like,
Mm.
someone who's half white, hello? Um, but, I'm lucky enough that I get to go in for, a lot of the time, most of my casting calls will look like open ethnicity.
Mm.
And they're usually trying to feel out what they want, so they kind of like bring in everyone when they call for that, and they put that in the breakdown. But yeah, like it's very interesting. It's like it should be at a point where none of that matters and we can all be auditioning, like no matter what, like no matter how we look like, and just like whoever is bringing the character best to life. But unfortunately, like we are in a time of an age where Hollywood's really just trying to still get better with the diversity in casting, so it has to be a very conscious decision moving forward. Otherwise it'll slowly start to trickle out of the brain, and then it'll kind of revert back to old habits in the Hollywood industry almost. So
Wow, you're not only a very talented singer, very talented actor, you're very insightful and very grown up with
oh,
your
thank
with
you.
your opinions, and I appreciate that about you. You're very intelligent. I appreciate that. I'm one of your big fans now, Zenia, and I'm trying to make this like I said it will be. I promise your mom this is a quick promotional interview, but I'm enjoying my conversation with you. So sorry for dragging it out for a long time, but
No,
I,
I'm so happy to be here.
and it looks like you're enjoying anyways. But Zenaya, that is interesting that your insights, and I totally agree with everything that you're saying. And I think a lot of casting directors, well, I guess your manager works really hard to find you that role, right? Because if you're racially
Sure.
ambiguous, she really has to look everywhere to find that right fit for you. But I think it always starts with the script and always starts with the story. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we need more Filipino and ambiguous people writing more stories. So,
For yeah,
right?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah, like I'm not sure if you heard, but on One of Us is Lying, my character Keely, she is written in the book because the show was a book before
That's
it
right.
was
I
a
saw
show.
that there's a book. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, called One of Us is Lying. And she in the book she was written to be half Filipino, half white.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, yeah,
In the
and like
book
just
itself.
in the
Okay.
book itself, which I
Do you
like I
know if the author of the book has some Filipino or Asian influence?
no, 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 no,
Not at
not
all.
at all. But she, I was honestly just like in shock when I first saw the audition come in, and I heard that there was a book, so I tried to read it online where I could, and then I saw the description of her in the book, and I was like, I've never seen in my life
Yeah.
like a character that was like intentionally
Mm-hmm.
specified to be half Filipino, half white, let alone Filipino. A lot of the time it's hard to see that in breakdowns in the industry. Usually they like to just kind of group everyone under Asian, which isn't good at all.
Yeah. And that's a problem for Filipinos because some people think, "Hey, you're not Asian enough. You're more Pacific Islander, or
Yeah,
you're not Pacific Islander enough. You're more Asian." So you
yeah.
sometimes, as an Asian or a Filipino specifically, you don't know where to find your place. But the positive thing about our story, our Filipino American or a Filipino Canadian, although we are Filipino Canadians, but the stories are Filipino American stories or American stories. The beauty
Yeah.
about American stories is in history of America, Filipino has always been integrated in the early histories during the wars and migration. And the Americans always have a fond relationship with many Filipinos, very, very back in the day. So I would say that racial profiling in movies are both good and bad, in my opinion, because your race can be your asset. Sometimes your race can be your liability, but right.
Mm.
But sometimes when people wants to write very moving stories, and it needs that X factor, and I think our being Filipino and living in America or North America, that really gives that X factor. A very exotic American story when you mix it with the Filipino mix, right?
Oh man, I totally see what like you're saying over here. It can totally be like a huge thing that should be celebrated when you see your culture on screen,
Hmm.
and especially when like people like are being casted in their own representation that can speak to paying homage to the heritage and their culture. I think that because I've been thinking about this lately about where does it kind of get difficult in that conversation,
Yeah.
and when is it too much? And I found that a lot of the times that like um I think that Hollywood has gotten quite good at putting like everyone who is of like BIPOC like background into their own cultures on screen,
Hmm.
and their own heritage, which is amazing. But it's still we're still trying to grow in that direction where just on in regular roles that
Yes.
people from different backgrounds can be seen, and not just because they're specifically like in Kill Bill, they're specifically in martial arts and like
Yes.
some
Yes.
sort, or I don't know, in another movie like in Mulan, you know, like which is it's all like great, should be like celebrated with, you know, like how that's emerging in Hollywood, especially at this time. But like just finding things like little, like I don't know, like the lead of a rom-com, like someone who's not just like the best friend in some movies sometimes, you
Like
know,
you're
like
talking about Spider-Man.
yeah, yeah, like, I mean, a Marvel superhero, like,
Yeah.
that it doesn't it isn't exactly it doesn't need to, um, just be around the heritage of
Yes.
that, or a character that's based on a stereotype. So, I think that, the industry is slowly, like, making their way, like,
Yeah.
little by little, but I guess, that's something that we hopefully will be seeing more of.
Well,
Yeah.
let's shift gear a little bit. Other than acting, so you've been in a lot of television and movie sets. Is there? Do you have any interest in other roles in a the movie industry outside of acting? Do you think you might be dabbling in directing or script writing or any other parts of the industry? Do you think?
That's a good question. I personally haven't given the film other positions in the film industry
Mhm.
like too much thought yet,
Yeah.
because I really feel like I fulfill my utmost like creativity in music, in writing. I love to write my songs. I love to co-produce with my producers whenever I can. Like, I'm very hands-on with like things from like the video, like to what I'm wearing, what the story is about, like how we're gonna like hopefully how it would look like, how the song will feel at the end, what kind of vibe that's going to be giving to everyone. Like, I love being hands-on with that side, and I kind of feel like that's more of my medium to tell those things. And through acting, a lot of the time it's about forgetting um, a lot of the things that you want, and a lot of the things that um, I don't know, that get in the way from you and the character, and just giving yourself selflessly towards the story and your character. And so like in a way, those are two very different mediums for me. One is like getting lost in something and letting go, and one is really building something and really creating hands-on. So when it comes to in the film industry, I'm like, I it's very interesting because like I'd have to like, I guess, like feel it out a bit more. But yeah, that's
But
where I'm at right
it
now.
seems to me when you're describing that, it seems to me that you are more of a producing actress because you know what you want and you know how to get what you want. It's almost like, hey, this is the kind of theme, this is the kind of music, this is the mood. You're almost like a director, producer slash actor. Let me ask you, did you write the song here that the B-roll that we're playing right now? Did you write that song?
Yes, Heaven and Hell, I did write. Yes.
That's awesome. And what about the music? Who wrote the music? You did you also wrote the melody?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I wrote the lyrics, the melody. I originally wrote it on piano, in a really like bad Logic Pro like
Mhm.
session on my computer when I was like younger. I think I was like graduating, or like the year after I graduated when I wrote that song. It was quite an old song. Um And then I wasn't quite done yet. I still had some lines I wanted to fill out. I still had a bridge that I was writing. And then I brought it to my friend. His name's Sean Thomas. He's an amazing, amazing producer. He is so, so talented. He's a multi-talented. He does like producing. He can play all the instruments. He has perfect pitch. He can sing. He can write. He can perform. He's like so talented. But I got him on board with the song, and I was lucky
Wow.
enough to have him on here, and he helped produce everything to what we wanted and like the vision at the end. And it was quite the journey to find the sounds and the sonic space that we wanted for it. But it was so rewarding, and I'm so grateful to him. Sean, if you're watching, hi.
Well, that is a gem, definitely. I can play that over and over, and we are doing that right now. We're playing it over and over, and it doesn't get old. And it's awesome. It's highly produced. It's highly planned. Very very excellently executed. Excellently planned. But all our audience, we have a few. We didn't advertise before we launched this live today. Usually, I tape so that I can edit, but if I do that, I cannot put a date when I can release our interview. So might as well go live now, and I will do an edited version as well for future reference. But anybody, I see this. There's a few, and we also are being listened to Freedom Fighter Radio, our radio app. People are listening to us. I know you cannot see some of the visuals that we're showing here, but we have Zenia Marshall, a Filipino Canadian bona fide Hollywood actress that I'm very, very proud of. I don't know why is the community not celebrating you enough. This is the first time I'm seeing you. I'm getting to know you better. Maybe because I'm too old for pop culture. That's
No,
why.
I'm very much still in my humble beginnings, and like, still trying to like feel out everything. And it's been a while, like since I've started, but I still feel like this is very much the beginning for everything. So that might
Well,
be why.
you know how I take that. It's like when you were saying that, what I'm hearing is you ain't seen nothing yet. That's what you're saying to the public, right? I think that's the message we're getting. You ain't seen nothing yet. You
You're
gotta
making
see
me sound
more.
very confident here. I love it.
You're gonna see more of Zenaya. You're gonna see her in big stages. You're gonna see her in big screens. I'm
Oh,
very excited about you. So talk about a couple more TV series you've been involved, and then let's talk about the movie that's coming up, or I mean the series, TV series
yeah.
on Peacock. Peacock is like a Hulu and Netflix kind of streaming channel, isn't it?
It is going to be a streaming network. Peacock is NBC and Universal combined, in their powers combined. They're making the Peacock
Oh, so
TV.
this is on cable TV too, as well. Peacock is on cable TV.
Well, NBC would be, I guess, their cable equivalent, but Peacock will be like their version of Netflix, like their streaming service. So
Okay.
everyone's kind of coming out with their own streaming service.
Well,
So
most people are watching on streaming now. Well, less people are watching on cable, to be honest. So you'll be more popular on streaming. So talk about. So I saw Supergirl, and then I think I saw about 10 TV series there that you've been involved. But talk two more of your favorite, and then let's go to One of Us is Lying,
for
about to
sure.
premiere October 7th. Folks, mark your calendars, about to premiere October 7th. And we have a few viewers and listeners on the radio app. Please send your comment, ask a question of Zenaya. Maybe we'll have an opportunity to answer two questions, right, Zenaya?
Oh, for sure. I'm down for everything. Ask away.
Ask away. All right.
Away.
So talk about two more favorite TV series you appeared in, and then let's talk
Yeah.
about the upcoming premiere.
For sure. One of my favorite TV series that I've been able to do so far was Supernatural. I was able to be there for about 2 episodes. I met one of my best friends, Skylar Radzian, on there, and it was such a fun experience. And Supernatural is one of those shows, those TV shows that's been around for a long time.
Yes.
I believe they ended on their 15th season. So the fact that I just about made it, like the season before they ended, like, just about like like just like made it through. Like I was just so happy that I got to be there before it ended. It was a fun show, and it was a fun shooting for us because we had some really cool action scenes. Like I'm very used to a lot of very like heartwarming, bubbly, buttery kind of material sometimes. And as much as I love doing that, like sometimes you just love dying in something. And
Wait a second. Isn't it supernatural? Isn't that like science fiction kind of dark
it's very
dystopian?
sci-fi. It's supernatural. They have ghosts, demons, monsters, angels,
Oh, it's like The Fringe. I used to
everything's
love
there.
following that TV series called Fringe. Is it
Yeah.
something like that, right? Or what do you call?
Other sorts, like, I guess it could be, like, almost compared to, like, an adult Buffy in a way where they're, like they're, like, slaying monsters wherever they go and trying to save humanity from the end of the world, quite frequently in their lives.
So
So,
yeah, how
yeah.
many? So you've been in one episode, and you said, did you
We
die
did
in the episode?
we did 2 episodes,
Oh, you did 2 episodes. Okay.
yeah, the first episode I was in, I was like harm-free. We just met some people and we were a part of that storyline. And then in the later episode, I got stabbed and
Oh,
spoiler alert. But like, I that was like it was just so much fun to film. Like I haven't really done too many stunts in my life, but I was like it was just so fun. Like you get to like fall onto the mat and like, it's like
you
this
did a
like
little
very
butt stunt there.
this Saving Private Ryan moment where you're like
Oh, okay.
and like
Are you pretty athletic outside of the screens?
oh no. Oh
No.
no. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even like think about lying my way through that. No, 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 no.
Well, I think Hollywood's heading towards female action stars. It seems
Oh
like a
yeah.
lot. One of my
Yeah.
favorite series is Homeland, a female lead actor, CIA spy. It seems like Hollywood wants to empower women, even a character. So being athletic probably will add some spice in your acting career.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I just like whenever I see any women doing like, all of the oh my gosh, it's just the
All
coolest
the
thing
martial
ever.
arts.
I would love to. I started in a dance background in ballet, so in a
Yeah.
way it was athletic, but
Oh
I've
yeah.
let go since then. From that, I haven't danced in a long time, so I just kind of turned into a potato over time, and
It's
I
the
need
lockdowns. They
to
lock us
whip up.
down.
I need to whip up.
I think it's the lockdowns. They've been locking us down. I probably gained about 35 pounds here. Blame
Oh,
it on the lockdowns.
yeah, lockdown.
We're done with the lockdowns. We want to be free. Okay, so Supernatural, that's a big one. Can people find Supernatural on Netflix, right?
I believe that they can. I hope I'm not just giving wrong information here. Yeah, it was on CW for the longest time, so I'm sure that
CW.
if you
Okay.
have cable, it'll still be on there. CW. I'm sure it's going to be like a cherished, treasured show for many years to come,
I believe
even
that
after
CW is a channel on Rogers or Bell, because I haven't had cable for more than 10 years because I'm a
Good for
streaming kind of
you.
guy now. I don't watch cable anymore.
You
However,
were streaming before streaming was popular. Like you were that cool guy that already knew about it
exactly.
way
There you go.
before. Like
I love
when?
I love to pretend once in a while that I'm cool.
You pioneered it, like, you were there before anyone else was, you
Well,
were cool.
I'm just an ordinary Joe, but nothing regular about ordinary. But anyways, so tell us
Cool Joe.
one more, one more TV series you've been involved with that is you really enjoyed.
Van Helsing was lots of fun.
Van Helsing, is that a TV
Yeah.
series? I thought that's a movie, isn't it?
It's, oh, well, you're right, it was a movie, I believe it had our Mr. Wolverine, man in there. I've never watched it myself, but I remember searching it up when I was trying to do research, and I did stumble across that. But there's actually a TV series on Netflix, that's and also on, cable on the network Sci-Fi,
Hmm.
um, and it's, very much a apocalyptic vampire kinda show about what happened, after, I guess, Earth falls apart as we're all bracing for with all these storylines. And yeah, like I was able to be in an episode as a guest star where we it was what happened beforehand as a
Mhm.
backstory of one of the characters, and the whole entire episode was a flashback episode about before that apocalypse, and then you can see when the apocalypse initially broke out and how our group, we were like a girl our
What
archery
what's your character
class.
again?
I was playing a character named Kim on there, and what was funny was we were all there was like there's a few of us, and we were supposed to be an archery team all together, and we were traveling. We got to this hotel and we were ready to party it up, and there's a scene of us partying in there and everything. And it was so much fun. But that was when all of our characters were alive, well, and healthy before the apocalypse broke out. And then you get to see the apocalypse break out. And as it's breaking out, I'm that character that has her phone with her, and she's like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. And like she's like filming
Doing
everything. Like,
selfies.
oh my God. Like she's that annoying one. Of course, I die first. I was the most annoying one there. Um, but I got
Well,
to turn into a vampire for a very short amount of time, and that was so much fun. I got to get stabbed as character many times. I showed up back at my home with many bruises. On set, we had this glass thing that broke all over, and I was in like a sea of candy glass like below me as I was dead on the floor. It's very
well,
violent, but it's as an actor, like it's you gotta understand. It's so fun. It's so fun. It sounds
but
very violent, but it's very
what I'm taking away from all your stories is that your experience in television is a variety of not one character is the same as the other. It's almost like stark opposites of, like, being the eldest daughter, and then now you're being a vampire, and the other role you're a country musician, and the other role was you're in what was the other one again, in yeah, Supernatural. What was your role in Supernatural again?
I was essentially like a regular small town like kid in this supernatural town. And me and my good friend Skylar Radzian, like we were a couple in the show together, and then we run into supernatural stuff and like having no idea that things like that ever existed before, and then being like really freaked out by that.
How old were you when you were doing these roles? Was this very recent or a few years ago?
I think Supernatural was 3 years ago.
3 years
Yeah.
ago. You were
Yeah.
still a teenager then. No, did you say you're
Uh,
23?
I think you are right. I think I was at the very end of my teenage years, 19, yeah.
Well, it kind of leads us to our finale movie here, or TV series that we want to. I have to go here to rewind it. And now we're talking about this
You
is a
seriously posting from campus?
I'm
a
not worried.
very
Think you wanna
well,
get
like I said, I'm not big on pop culture, but for me, and
Hey,
an old
baby.
folk like me, it looks like a
School is
Degrassi
back in
High type.
session.
But you said it's
You
not.
know
It's
what that
totally different
means.
from Degrassi High. But it's
So,
a high school story.
this
Are there
week,
kissing
I'll be
scenes
taking
here?
down 4
Kissing
of
scenes?
Oh, yeah, there's some
Just saying.
great scenes of more mature content in here. No, I'm kidding. It's actually not that much compared to a lot of other teen shows. Like I feel like some things might be like more implied, but it's not shown like it is in like other shows. So it's actually quite more appropriate than a few other. I don't want to put any of the shows on the spot for this, but like it's more appropriate than some shows out there in the teen, young adult category,
Mhm.
high school category, because it doesn't like really show too much, doesn't talk about it too much. It has mature themes and content, but like it's fairly like I feel like you could still watch it with your family and not get like completely, oh my God, I can't make eye contact with my family in the room kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, because this seems to be a bit more of like, is it a thriller kind of theme?
It's more of I describe it more as a teen mystery. young
Teen
adult mystery.
Okay, like a mystery,
Yeah.
not your spy mystery, but mystery kind of. Okay, I got it. But you must be familiar with Leah Salonga.
Oh, of course,
You know her,
Queen
right? And
Leah.
I think we're about the same age, me and Leah Salonga. So there, you can tell now that I'm older than your uncle. But Leah Salonga, when she was starting out, I was young. She was like, when she was 16, I think 16, when she got the role as Miss Saigon. The kissing scene was the very difficult part for her and her family because, Filipinos are very conservative, not very, putting yourself out there. But we've changed over the years. Did you have any did you have a lot of conversation with mom about, kissing scenes in television?
Oh my gosh, not really, not really. For me personally, it's all about like the work. Like, kissing scenes are very conservative compared to some of the other things that they could make you do that
That's
at the
true.
moment I'm not quite accepting at this point in time. But like, I definitely like I feel like I'm fine with it. Like it's very much like just kind of the work. It's just kind of the nature. Like if your character's in love, it's the nature of the story, it's the nature of the script. But I did have my first kiss on screen though in Date My Dad, which was really
In
funny.
My
So
Dad. Oh,
yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
there's a boy in in the story in Date My Dad. Now I
Yes.
wanted to talk about this.
Seriously posting from
What is it
campus?
about?
I'm
So why
home.
people should
Think you want to get
start
shut down?
tuning in and download Peacock? I think Peacock is the streaming.
Hey,
But
Bayview.
Yeah.
we played a little
School
bit
is
in the
back in session.
beginning.
And you know
The,
what
the
that
the entire
means.
trailer. We'll play the trailer
So
again
am
at the
I.
end, but we'll put it
This
on
week,
low volume.
I'll be taking
But
down four
describe
of Bayview's
everything about
biggest.
sell the show. Sell the show to all our
Tell the
viewers.
show. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go. Five students walk into detention. Oh, right here. It's perfect timing. And only four of them make it out alive. One of them dies, which is this guy that you're seeing right now.
Oh
Oh
my
no, oh
God.
no, oh no. Seems like someone has poisoned him, but they have to figure out who had
Oh.
murdered him. And it looks like throughout the series that they're all kind of being framed for it. And they're
Oh.
trying to figure out who's the actual person that did it and how to kind of get out of the situation with their reputations clean, with their lives still intact. And also the one of the reasons why I guess our guy who got sent off away into heaven um, was had happened in the first place was that he had this blog that would out everyone's secrets. So even when he had passed away, the secrets are still being outed of everyone in the school about all of the things that they're holding closest under, like behind closed doors, and all their like skeletons in their closet and everything are still being whipped out little by little. So who's still doing that? Now we have to find
Think
out.
you want to get shut
So
down?
tune into Peacock on October 7th to find out.
Wow. Well, I'm curious now too. I might also be.
And you know what that
Did I have a
means.
little echo there? I might download Peacock now because
Yes,
I'll be
I'm
taking
very
down four
interested
please.
of
with. I
Bayview's
like
biggest
solving
secrets.
mysteries too, and
Let's just say
yeah. But the
I've
thing
got
is,
something
when I get
organized.
started on something, I cannot put it down until I finish the whole series.
Yes, yes, I have the same problem too.
You have the same problem.
You.
And
Oh,
so, talk about a little about your character, Keely.
for sure. So in order to talk about Keely,
Oh,
I feel like I have
before
to.
you get started, mommy, Louisa, I'm sure you're watching. Could you please leave a question on the comment? Get it started. After this segment, we'll go to the comment section. Mommy, put a question on the comment section. All right, go for it, Sunaya.
Oh my gosh. Hi, mom. Hi. Oh man.
So
Right
you're talking
before
about
this,
Keely.
she's totally watching. Right before this, she was like scrambling around, being like, "I can't find my glasses. Like, where are my glasses? I can't find them."
Mommy, the Tina Turner mommy. She's also an actress. I really love her Tina Turner getup.
Oh man. So Keely, oh, right there. There was a shot of like the arms of this. That's Keely over there. Essentially she's a high school girl. She's part of the cheerleading squad. She's part of she's student body president. Like she's has a very seamless kind of um I guess like projected image to the school. She's part of like the popular table, and she has a boyfriend named Cooper that is a star pro baseball player, an athlete,
The black guy,
and
Cooper.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see him pop up here. You'll probably have like a yep,
There.
there he is. Yeah,
Okay.
the baseball. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So really they're best friends in the show, and they're together in the show. And I guess they're both trying to protect each other throughout everything that's happening. And yeah, like without giving too much away, like that's kind of what's going on. So she's Cooper's friend and girlfriend throughout the show. And yeah, one of my favorite parts about her character as well is that she's also like, as I mentioned before, she's half Filipino, half white, and it was very hardly that I saw kind of that
Hmm.
in shows and in representation of just kind of everyday series. I feel like one of the people I can think of right now would be Shay Mitchell, if I
Hmm.
can say her name properly.
Hmm.
And yeah, like, but definitely the first time that I've seen it, so that was something that made the character really special to me.
Well,
Um,
tell me a little bit about that right there. When you, that is a very interesting scene when you have your arms up and you're on a stage. Were you singing? What was that about?
oh yeah, everyone always asks me that because it does
Yeah.
look like I'm singing. But I don't know if I can really tell you what's going on there.
That one right there.
I think you can tell already just from looking at it that it's very much of like a school dancey looking scene.
Uh-huh.
So being student body president, I'm just very like
Okay.
I guess I may or may not be saying a little something. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how much I can say about this.
Well, this is such a fun promotion. I'm gonna play the entire trailer when we say goodbye. I'm gonna ask you a favor before we say goodbye. I'm gonna ask you to do a shout out. I'm gonna re-edit the whole thing and put it out edited. I'd like you to do a promotional. I'm Zenia, and you're watching the Ordinary Joe show. That's a little later.
Okay, okay, okay. Sounds
But
good.
Zinaya, last question, and then we'll close with this. For a lot of young, aspiring uh, young females out there, but let's talk to a lot of Filipino Canadian females who's aspiring to someday when I grow up, I want to be like Zenaya.
Oh,
Uh,
so sweet.
give them a little bit of mommy didn't comment yet. Let me see the comment. No, nobody commented. But anyways, so give a little bit of a piece of advice for up and coming who want to be actress or multi-talented like you, actors, singing, maybe director and producer someday. Word of advice.
For sure, for sure. Man, in a world where I feel like I'm still like trying my best here, like from what I know, the most that I can say at this point in my career is like just making sure that you when you know that this is something that you love and you want to do this no matter what, you stick to your guns, you keep on holding on to who you are
Mm-hmm.
um, separately outside of the industry while chasing what you want without holding anything back, if that makes sense. So
That
go
this is
after everything that you want. You put in all the hard work, dedicate your time, take the risks, make strong, bold choices for yourself and your career. But don't lose that part of yourself that you can keep for yourself, like on your own in private. Don't lose sight of other things outside of the industry, because as important as acting and music and performing is, and giving that to the world and other people, like you still need to be in touch with the world as well, and other things that you love too, and making sure you're still growing as a person and not just as an artist as well. It's like very it's like a Venn diagram of two different circles, but like in the middle they meet, and there's the similarities yeah, that you gotta water and keep growing, and then there's like the differences that you gotta cater to both of them. So yeah.
Wow, that is so insightful. And folks, this is live, and this is impromptu. And me and Zenia just kind of pulled it off with raw talent, folks. Raw talent. We didn't have a director, but I'm sending you a script, Zenia, for our promotional. I'm gonna
Okay,
re-
okay.
I'm gonna re-edit this and put it out as an edited version. I know that we have some live viewers, but the edited version, when I spit that out, that will garner a lot of views.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to close with playing the entire trailer again of One of Us is Lying, a mystery, teeny bopper mystery, high school, kind of suspense thriller type TV series. Where are you? What happened to you?
I don't
Oh,
know.
there you go. uh,
I'm
and
hiding.
there you go. They're hiding. And I had so much fun chatting up with you. I thought this will be a 15-minute quick promotional interview, but I hope you had fun. I had so much fun with
I had
you.
so much fun. Thank you
You're
so much
fun
for
to talk
having
to.
me here, Kuya Joe.
Well, I'd like to see you again. Hopefully, I can have you on mid season one,
Yes.
and after people already seen some of the scenes, they'll be curious. How did you feel about playing that role or that scene?
Yeah.
That is kind of scary scene or whatever. I think a lot of people will have interesting. I see a private chat. Oh, that was me from the other computer. Okay, so I'm gonna request you to do a shout out for our promotion. I'm gonna spit
Oh
this out, and
yeah.
I'll want to invite you again. Let me know if you can pin down a date so that I can start promoting it. Hopefully, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks from now,
For
whenever you
sure.
can,
Yeah.
we'll
I'll be
promote it,
back.
and
I'll be
then
here again. We'll be chatting for another while. In the future, we'll have more conversations out
and
there.
we'll talk about your music more on the next time because you're not only an actress but you're also a musician. So I leave it to you for give your last thoughts and then do us our shout out and then I will play the entire clip.
Oh yeah, for
Oh, by
sure.
the
Thank
way,
you so much for having me.
I might not appear anymore, so I'm just gonna say my thank you very much, Zenia, for appearing at Freestyle Indie. You're always welcome here. I please find a home here on the Filipino. Is just another ordinary Joe show. We have two of them. We have the mainstream. We have Filipino, and you're welcome on both because you're both. You're like you said, the ambiguous race.
I'm beige.
You fit on everything. Thank you very much, and I'll leave you the last words, and I'll say goodbye here now, and you can say your goodbyes to our
Oh,
viewers, and I'll play the entire. Where are you again? There you go, and I'll I'll play the entire
oh.
trailer after your last words.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Koyejo, for having me on. It's
You're
been
welcome.
such a pleasure. Oh my gosh, I love like so much of like what we were able to talk about today, and yeah, like thank you guys so much for listening in, everyone who's been tuning in. Pleasure to meet all of y'all for the first time, and I hope that you do tune in to One of Us is Lying, premiering on Peacock TV streaming service on October 7th of this year. Woo! Very soon, very
Woo!
soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Uh-huh. And let's do the shout out.
Okay.
Don't forget the shout out.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Hi there, I'm Zenia Marshall, and you are watching Freestyle Indie only here on Ordinary Joe Show. I have to do that one more
Seriously
time though.
Oh,
posting
do
from
it one more
campus.
time. Okay, let's. Okay, let me.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah,
Just
I
for
know we're
you.
live, but
Just for you.
all
Just for
right,
you.
awesome. Let's do it again. I
Okay.
was about to play that trailer, but let's do it.
Hi, I'm Zenia Marshall. You are watching Freestyle Indie only here on Ordinary Joe Show.
Awesome. Thank
You
you.
seriously posting from campus?
I'm not worried.
It's like you want to get shut down.
Hey, Bayview. School is back in session. And you know what that means? So am I. This week, I'll be taking down 4 of Bayview's biggest offenders. Let's just say, I've got enough dirt to bury them.
Your obsession with other people's lives is pathetic.
Nobody at the school would get called out for anything if it weren't for me.
Simon?
Jesus, he's allergic.
I don't think he's breathing.
You want to help?
Detective Wheeler has a couple questions.
Wasn't it an accident?
They think one of us did it.
Without Simon, you get to be valedictorian.
You're accusing me now.
I know them.
I don't know you. We need to work together now.
And why should we trust you?
So you guys have no secrets.
I've got too much on the line.
Tell them the truth. It's not gonna change anything.
Everybody here hated him.
But who also hated us?
What is a secret worth literally killing for?
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Kuya Joe. Bye.